Good morning. Can you hear in the back?
Yes.
So welcome this morning to KCC. Particularly, we hope that you feel welcome if you're new or sort of new, and also a special welcome to those of you who are watching on the streaming. Good morning. My name is Erik Fromme. I'm one of the assistant teachers here at KCC, joined this morning by Zopa and Bill and Dora. And we welcome you to our Sangha this morning. Today's schedule is the usual Sunday schedule of a little bit less than an hour of calm abiding meditation, followed by a break, and then followed by our question and answer and dialogue. That will take us right up to about 11 o'clock. And on behalf of my fellow teachers, we hope that you find here this morning refuge from all of the competing demands, a place where you can rest and feel off the hook. Nothing to do. Lately, I confess I've been feeling like I have too many things to do. That there's not enough time, and I periodically feel anxious, worried that I'll fail or let somebody down. And from one perspective, it does seem like the world we've created encourages us to constantly do more. There are so many invitations or requirements to do more and more. And it seems like we have to say yes to this opportunity or that requirement. And from time to time it can become overwhelming. I have discovered you can even make Dharma practice like that. I have to confess I was up until midnight preparing for yesterday's class on purification. So I realize that even our practice can seem like more doing, especially when you're thinking about doing it, as opposed to actually doing it. And that brings me to a line in Gelong Pema Karpo's Heart Practice, which is a supplementary prayer in the Chenrezi practice. That was remembered by Tongton Gelpo, the Mahasiddha, who was born in 1385. And it states, propelled by negative karma accumulated from beginningless time, sentient beings are born in the human realm by force of desire and attachment, and experience the suffering of excess activity and frustration. And Lama Michael likes to point out that even though we tend to think of our busyness as a product of our modern times and technology, that even so in 15th century Tibet, presumably sitting in a monastery in a mountain somewhere, the description of suffering particular to the human realm was excess activity and frustration, born from the force of desire and attachment. I don't know if that's good news or bad news, that in 600 years that perspective hasn't necessarily changed much. But in contrast, when Chamche Bokar Rinpoche gave the pointing out instructions, showing us the nature of our minds and Mahamudra, he did it very simply with the words, nothing to do. Actually, he was cuter about it than that. He would say, nothing to do. Giggle about it. And so the practice here in bridging our very full lives with this pointing out of inherent simplicity is to find a place to rest in the middle of things. And that's our opportunity in coming together to practice calm abiding this morning. And so we begin by turning our minds away from all of those worries and to-do lists and responsibilities. And just for this time while we're together, we focus on what is most important, most precious to us. And from that place, let's go for refuge now by reciting our traditional refuge and bodhicitta prayer.
Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular sufferings and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular sufferings and establish them in lasting peace and happiness.
And so we begin the period of formal calm abiding meditation. It will last about 45 minutes, interrupted by a short ring of the bell that will give an opportunity for a 1-minute break to stretch and reestablish your meditation if you need to. And how does calm abiding practice help us to find a place of rest in the middle of things? Well, we have the opportunity to practice now and find out for ourselves. And so let's begin by grounding ourselves in our bodies and making sure that our backs are straight. Feel ourselves in contact with our cushions or our chairs and with the floor. And any tension that's in your body, breathe into it, and as you breathe out, try to let that tension go. And with your body relaxed, bring your awareness to your breathing. And place it gently on your breathing and rest in that noticing. And when you notice that you're distracted, that your mind has wandered or thinking about something and have forgotten about your breathing, and very gently and with kindness bring your mind back to your breathing. And as a potential enhancement, you might pay some particular attention to the end of your out-breath. If you look, you'll find a space there at the end of your out-breath. And that's a place where you can rest. Take a minute, stretch or readjust your posture if you need to.
By this virtue may I quickly realize Mahamudra and establish all beings without exception in this state.
So now we have a break for about 15 minutes. And let's see, there are things to make tea with in the back of the kitchen. If you're interested, please help yourself to a cup of tea. And there are 3 bathrooms in the house. One, if you go up the stairs, it's on the right of the stairs. One, if you just walk straight back in the kitchen. And one at the bottom of the stairs if you go down into the basement on the right. And then I think we have some announcements. And I'm wondering, maybe some people could say something about the sit-a-thon.
Well, Linda,
I'll say something about it.
Yeah.
So many of you have, I think, begun to hear about this so many times that you're like, okay, I've heard about that. But it's Saturday, September the 3rd, which is the first day of Labor Day weekend. And it's a 2-part event. We're on that afternoon going to have the lovely opportunity to sit together in Grant Park from 1 to 5, as long as anybody wants to sit there in hour segments like we do here. And it's a great chance for us to invite any friends, neighbors, family members that might have been wanting to try mindfulness meditation to come to the park. And the other half of the event is that it's a thon, like all the walkathons and runathons and bikeathons that you see. We're having a sit-a-thon. And it reminds me of the first day I ever came to KCC. On the refrigerator there was a magnet that said, "My idea of a really good workout is a good brisk sit." And I thought, oh yeah, really serious. But then I tried sitting and I realized, actually, it has its challenges. We will be inviting everybody in the Sangha to take a sitter's packet out there, sign it out, and read about how you can ask everyone in your constellation of friends, neighbors, colleagues, if they will pledge you for some amount of time, if they will donate to you for some amount of time to sit for the benefit of this community, which means so much to us. So if you have any questions, you can ask me or Brooke, who's back there. She's also helping get this all going. Brooke, is there anything you would add to that description?
No, I mean, I think what you've said a few times about how the way that we fundraise can be representative of our values. And I think the sit-a-thon really helps people to see what some of our values are. You know, a lot of people are struggling right now with what's going on in the world, and sitting is a great way to not only bring some balance to your own heart, but also to project some of that out into the world. So the sit-a-thon really represents the way that we, as a community, are shining our light into the world.
Thank you.
And it's cleaning Sunday too.
It's
today.
cleaning Sunday.
Yes.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, so after Q&A, if you're able to stay, we'll do a cleaning of the Sangha, and there's a board in the kitchen, and you can find a cleaning task, and if you selected, if you would take the pin out and turn the task over so people know that it's claimed, that would be helpful. But even if you can't stay, if you could help us take all of the cushions out and kind of beat them against each other to get rid of dust and cat hairs and things. And that would be helpful.
The cat wants to come in, but we don't let her come.
Yes,
Who knows what's in them?
she's fairly persuasive.
And persistent.
Her assistant.
We should also just repeat the save the date announcement for Ringo Tulku's visit. He will be coming sometime right around, it will include the weekend after Thanksgiving, whether it becomes slightly before, slightly, goes slightly before, after that, we don't know yet. But we will have a weekend program with him, most likely on the union of relative and ultimate bodhicitta. That's what we've requested. We'll see what comes back. So that's save the date for that. And for those who've been around, if you don't remember the name Ringo Tulku, you probably remember us referring to the book Daring Steps, which we've used a number of times in a lot of context. And there's also another book that's actually quite excellent, Confusion Arises as Wisdom, which apart from Ringo Tulku's visit, I would encourage people who want to look into things deeper to look at that.
All right. Anything else?
Erik Fromme is leading a 1-week silent, thank goodness, retreat in August, and all the information's tacked up on that bulletin board. So please read it, and if you can get away for a week, it's a huge help to your practice and to the world. Yeah.
I would like to say that we have 2 new people today in the back, Brianna and Taylor. Lovely.
Well, welcome. Yes.
And Robert here.
And
Wow.
someone else new. Yeah.
John.
John, welcome. Yay.
I should probably make my usual announcement about the young adult group that happens once per month here at KCC, the first Friday of every month from 7 to 9. And it's young adult, young meditators, young Buddhist, and young is really anybody, it's just self-identified. So join us. We used to have an age parameter, but there was people that didn't really, so we just threw it out the window.
That's where everything goes. Yeah,
All right.
it's good.
So Carolyn will start to ring the bell when it's time to come back. Have a good break.
Yeah.